Good morning. It's Monday morning. Once again, we're back at it on Trentonian.com. It's Monday morning with freedom, fresh ideas, fresh individuals making and looking to build a new reality in the capital city of Trenton. I was asked actually this weekend, when am I going to start bringing on big name people? I actually laughed. We're not here to entertain. We're not here to, sit around and look cute. We're here to bring on real people who are doing relative things to make their city a little bit better right where they live at. And that's how we bring about true revitalization. So keep looking for the superstars. They'll be sitting here with me every day. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, brother.
How are you?
I'm well.
Introduce yourself to the listeners.
I am June King. I am with the Urban League Guild of Union County Trenton chapter, and I'm here today to talk about the 30th Annual Gentlemen's Ball.
All right. So the 30th Annual Gentlemen's Ball. I know a lot about it, so give us a little bit of the history, Joe.
Real quickly, there were a few folks who were concerned about the lack of representation for African American young men in the community who had been doing well in athletics and academics, and they wanted to make sure that we were recognized. So back in, I believe, 1982, Mr. John Couch, as well as some folks who were involved in the Urban League here in Trenton at the time, Miss Edith Savage Jennings, Mr. Paul Pintella Sr., and some other luminaries, I believe Mr. Hall and some other folks who were involved with the Urban League and other folks at the time. Saw that we had, say, the dead ball and some other things that helped our young ladies be recognized within our society, being presented to the community. But there's nothing of that ilk for young men.
No doubt.
So essentially what they did is they came up with what is now something that's gone on for 30 years, the Gentlemen's Ball, where they took young men who had established themselves academically, as well as athletically. And so those first couple groups, I think, was comprised primarily of young men, as I said, who were in that focus. As we've evolved, now we include young men whose extracurricular activities include things other than just athletics. So we've got young men who are musicians, and young men who are active in their churches, and young men who are into drama and other arts. But primarily the focus is a high academic standard with other festive activities that folks are involved in to have it be a group of fairly well-rounded young men.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I attended the last one last year. It was phenomenal. Young men actually waltzed.
Yes.
Which I thought was unique, especially for young African American men, to be able to not only waltz but do it quite well, and to be exposed to that. Tell us a little bit about the waltz and how they prepare to do all that.
Well, Mr. John Couch, back in our original ball, he determined that there would be a uniform, so to speak, for the young men. And that uniform is evening tails, white shirt, white vest, white tie, white gloves. So when you see a young man who is presented again to the community, the young men come through an honor guard. They are escorted by their mothers. So in that presentation to the community, they are presented with an elder, so to speak. So that person who helped them get to that point is present. Then the mother is escorted away, and the young man is there in the middle of the floor, center stage, so to speak, for everybody to see as they discuss that young person's bio, what they're doing in school, some of their accomplishments, as well as their goals, where they intend to go to college, what things they want to do in life. And then once all the young men are presented, there's our announcer will make a very poignant statement. It says presenting the whatever year class of Gentlemen's Ball honorees.
No doubt.
And at that moment, the young men stand up and they go right into the waltz with their escorts. So it is always something to behold.
Yes, it is.
And the last few years, we've been blessed to have a gentleman, Mr. Ben White, who's a choreographer. He was actually a teacher in the Camden School District for years. He recently retired, but he's continued to help us with the choreography of the ball. So this year they've got something really special in store for people.
So that's kind of like a little hint to make sure they're there.
Yes.
I heard you, bro.
We want people there.
I want to tie into, I think, what makes the ball so phenomenal is in our community, a lot of older brothers. You said elder, and I like to use that terminology as well. But there's a clear disconnect between the elders the what I would say grown black man in terms of the young black man coming up. And you guys are touching on all three of those variables, allowing that young man to come up and see the process of a father and also maybe a grandfather figure, tying in three generations. So our young men get a chance to see excellence in front of them. So they're inspired, they're given an opportunity to push and pull for excellence, but they're also supported by the history of a grandfather, the history of their father. How does that all tie in? And again, on the screen is the young men.
Yeah, that's a clip from, I think,
Mean two-step.
yeah, that's last year's ball.
Yeah.
So that's a this was the informal dance because they actually do a formal waltz.
Okay.
And then later in the program they do an informal waltz.
Yeah.
So this is a clip from last year's informal waltz. So this year, I think in honor of Don Cornelius passing, as well as with the passing of Whitney Houston, they're actually going to do, I think, a Soul Train line. Has been incorporated into their informal waltz. So I think that's going to be really entertaining.
They do the Soul Train line, bro. I'm coming down the line. I'm not involved in the process. I'm just letting you know.
Well, actually, that will be kind of like the call to the audience because typically at the end of their informal dance, is when they kind of pull the audience onto the dance floor to kind of get things initiated. But the points you made a few moments ago about bridging that gap between our elders and the young folks. This year being our 30th ball, we're actually doing sort of a retrospective. So instead of having your typical introduction of our dais and say a keynote speaker, what we're doing this year is we're actually going to have 3 past gentlemen from different years. So we've got a Kevin Falcone, who's a gentleman from the very first class of 1983. We've got a Leslie Samuel, who's class of 92. And then we've got Jarrell Blakely, who's class of 2005. So when you have a gentleman who's from that first class who's 30 years out, you've got a gentleman from the class of 92 that's some 20 years out. And then you've got a gentleman who's only say 5 years out, but he just finished college. He's now in grad school. So that is going to give an opportunity for these young men who are going to be seated there that evening to see the path that's laid before them. And we've got John Couch, Jr., John Eric Couch, who's going to have him speak a little bit to kind of address the legacy of the ball from the perspective of the son of the man who helped start this activity, who is also an alumnus of the first class. So it's going to be pretty interesting. We've got in this class, and somebody I think might have corrected me on it, but I think we're going to have the first time the son of a gentleman is going to be a gentleman. Because we've got a young man, Gerald Trueheart III, who's the son of Gerald Trueheart.
Just recently put on the school board.
Yes. He is an alumni from my class. So I'm from the class of 84.
No doubt.
And Tony Mack, our mayor, is a gentleman alumnus of the class of 84 also. So it's going to be a lot of things tying in to where we've got Kevin Baxter, Ewing Councilman. He's going to be the one who opens our dais. He's a gentleman alumnus of class of 85. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting for those who come to have an opportunity to see this thing that, for those who don't know about it, that has existed for now 30 years. So when you have an idea that started by a few of our folks from our community who saw a need, put forth some energy, some effort, some time, and had a commitment. And now, although unfortunately some of those folks have passed, a few of those folks are still around. But Mr. Pentella passed a few years back. Mr. Couch also passed a few years back. Ms. Savage is still with us, and she's been active in some activities with the Urban League over the years. But to have now the kids who were the first couple gentlemen, the legacy, trying to take over that role of coming back, being involved. Myself, I've been involved the last 5 or 6 years. Stephen Cook, who's an alumnus of class of 89, I believe, he's been back involved since like 1996. He's been the announcer every year, with the exception of one, which was last year, where he was the first gentleman who was the chairperson of the ball. So I got to follow in his footsteps by being the announcer yet last year.
Okay.
And this year I'm doing it again by following his footsteps by being the second alumnus to be the chairperson.
Okay. Let's finish it off by saying what the vision, the goal, and going forward, what society or community impact would you like the ball to continue to have? Clearly, these young men, African American men, who need exposure to elegance, to another way of living, to a way of taking pride in themselves, to educational excellence, to opportunities. You have some key and critical people who've come through and are now reaching back. I remember we talked on the radio about Maurice Coleman, a few of the people, Mayor Tony Mack, other people, Kevin Baxter, individuals who've come through the program and now have solidified themselves, very interesting careers, and now they're reaching back, which is something in our community that doesn't happen as much as it needs to, because young men need to be inspired, they need to be walked through life and being shown how to be men by men. So what would you like to see in terms of the vision of the Gentlemen's Ball going forward?
Well, I would say it's twofold.
Okay.
One piece is the responsibility of those of us to get involved in the organization, the Urban League Guild of Union County, Trenton chapter.
No.
So we need more of our young folks to kind of come back to the fold and be involved with the Urban League.
Okay.
But then as far as the Gentlemen's Ball alumni, the last few years we've been trying to create an alumni association.
Okay.
Where we're trying to as of right now, there's 609 alumni.
Okay.
So after this coming class, we'll have 627 alumni.
Okay.
So there's been an effort through media, like social media, like Facebook. So we've got a Facebook page.
Okay.
A number of the gentlemen, whenever we kind of come in contact with each other, we always try to pass on contact information so that network can grow. So we're actually keeping a database when we come into contact with folks. So we've got a database started.
Nice.
We send out email blasts and we try to direct folks to come to the Facebook page.
Okay.
But ultimately, I think what would happen is, what I would like is, let's say these young men who are going to be graduating this year.
Okay.
Have them understand that they're a part of something that's a lot larger than they are.
That's right.
So having the physical presence of alumnus of past years is sort of the leading by example.
That's right.
So that when they see those of us who moved away, and I left this town at 19 and didn't come home until I was like 38. So it was like 19, 20 years.
Nice.
Where essentially I was transient whenever I came to town.
Okay.
Folks are always saying to me, well, where are you coming? Or where are you coming from? Or where are you going to?
No doubt.
So I would like to see those who are going to do the same thing that I've done, who've
maybe
gone and moved around the world a little bit, but when they kind of reached up and were looking to settle, to come back and invest and show these young brothers that there is hope here in this town.
All right.
That there's a lot of things that they can bring to the table. And we tell them all the time. We had a rap session this past Saturday.
Okay. Where
we told the young men in pretty unprofessional terms that they are this future.
That's right.
They're an endangered species, but we're here to help them and guide them and ensure that they have the support morally, spiritually, and in some cases financially.
That's right.
To kind of guide them and see them through.
Good.
So I think that ultimately, as long as we continue to show them that they are worth our time.
That's right.
That they are worth our love and effort. I tell the kids all the time, I said that the young black man is God's greatest creation. And the only thing they have to do is go out and prove it.
That's right. That's beautiful, bro. I like that. All right, you want to give us some contact information? You guys actually have a function Tuesday, a practice?
We have a rehearsal this coming Wednesday.
I'm sorry.
At PJ Hill School.
Okay.
It's from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
So anybody who's looking for tickets that doesn't have tickets, I'd strongly recommend they come through PJ Hill.
Okay.
Tickets to the ball are $50.
Okay.
So if they don't have a ticket or they don't know a young person who's currently involved, to get tickets through that kid or that person's family, they can contact myself. And you got my phone number, 609-675-4656.
Okay.
We have a ticket chair, Miss Celestine Hill.
Okay.
She can be contacted at 609-394-1682.
All right.
But again, all they have to do is contact the Urban League Guild member.
Okay.
Come to PJ Hill or contact me, and I'm sure we can get them tickets if we don't. I don't think we're going to have any problems. I mean, it's always a packed house. We always try to, for the folks that we get come, we try to make sure we put them in somewhere.
That's right. All right. So definitely reach out to my man June and allow yourself to become a part of this great event. invest. Even if you don't know a young man who's involved in the program, expose them to it. A young woman as well. So a lot of times we look for the maximum amount of our children and we only give the minimum. So again, allow them to see what they can be by allowing others who look just like them doing what they might opt to do if they're given the opportunity and exposure to see it. Well, thank you for coming on, bro.
Brother, look, I thank you for having me, and I really like that jacket.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna say anything. All right, nice day, bro. You have a great day, bro. All right, take care now. Gonna bring you on. Next guest is coming in, and we want to rotate this thing just like a merry-go-round. It's how we do around here. All right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
All right. We're not gonna play around with this thing. We're gonna get right. We're gonna get right into it. Introduce yourself to the listeners, sir.
I'm Imam Abdul Malik Ali from Masjid Taqwa, Trenton, New Jersey. Been here now, this town, since 1969.
Yes, sir.
Been the imam of the community since 1979.
Wow.
Served on the school board, was the first chairman of the Human Relations Commission for Trenton, New Jersey.
That's right.
And in other capacities in the state of New Jersey, around the country, in fact, around the world.
This is an interesting individual here. He's an elder to me. We always seem to connect, and we're always in the same places doing pretty much the same thing, and that's just trying to educate and make it a little bit better. Talk a little bit about the Islamic community, which really doesn't get the exposure it should in the city of Trenton, where you are with things, some of the things you may be working on, and what really is your take in terms of the city and where the Islamic community meets in the middle, and what are you looking to do in terms of vision from that perspective?
Well, the Islamic community in Trenton has been here since about 1959.
Wow.
In one form or another, starting out the Nation of Islam and then developing into what we now call the mainstream Islam.
Okay.
We went through the different phases, and as these different phases develop, we actually expand. We moved from Humboldt Street to East State Street, where we're at right now.
Okay.
And the community has been as high as 500 people. Right now, I say we're about 250 people altogether.
Okay.
However, you'd be mistaken to think it's sticking African American Islamic community, because it's not.
Right, right.
We have people from Pakistan. We have people from Egypt. We have people from Turkey. We have people from Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Russia.
Okay.
We have from the islands, Turkey, you name it, they're there.
Extensive.
So if you were to walk into the community, you would not even know what kind of community it was. You would not believe, as an African American, that I'm the leader, because you would say, "Oh, this is probably immigrant community." But it's not.
Okay.
It's a community that encompasses everybody.
Right.
We have Arabic classes, Islamic studies classes, and children's classes, hoping to expand even more.
Okay.
At times, I do a comparative scripture class, which compares Bible to Quran. And then I do one that compares Qur'ans to Qur'ans, because there's different translations.
Right.
I get into the history of who translated it, why he translated, what was going on at a particular time he translated it, and why they chose the various words. For instance, one word in Arabic, you might read the word man. And the word may be rijalun, which means man, supporter. Right. But that man may be nisab, which is humankind. It might mean mankind. It might mean something else. But they'll translate each one of these 4 or 5 different words as man.
Okay.
It might be the thinking man, which is the Thakurun.
Right.
So when you see Thakurun, you say, oh, they translate as man, but they don't translate as thinking man.
Okay.
So I compare the language and compare it so people get a clear understanding of what Islam is all about.
Nice.
Part of our goals are really to become more known in the community and work with the religious community, not to try to convert people. That's a mistake I think some of the preachers make.
Right.
They think we're out to convert their people, and I keep telling them that's not our job.
Right.
It's not our job. Our job is to find a way we can work together as religious people for the sake of the Creator who created us all.
That's right. And
that we have a responsibility. The gentleman was just talking about the young men. We have a responsibility to the young men and the young women in society in general to bring a change.
That's right.
I'm not, I think I told one preacher, look, if you got all the people, I'm going to clap for you, because I know they're doing right.
That's right.
And if we get to be, you should applaud us for trying to do right.
That's
right. If we're trying to get the people right, then we're both safe and secure.
Right. That's right.
And one of the problems is perception in Trenton that we're not safe and secure. I would differ to that, but that's another story.
That's a whole other show. We may have to bring you back for that.
That's a whole other thing. But the perception is dangerous. I don't agree with it.
No, and actually, it's an excellent point you made. And part of what Joey and I do in terms of this show is just working towards allowing people to understand and move beyond their little framework of thinking and understand that this thing is bigger than you.
Absolutely.
And until you get working from that framework of thinking, you won't be able to make a pivotal difference, because all you'll think is what you know.
Right.
But it's a world outside here waiting for you to learn, grow, and get involved in. Okay, so
that's why I love the Gentleman's Ball and things like that, because it's teaching these young men that it's bigger than Trenton.
That's right.
And one thing I try to emphasize to the young people, they need to get outside of Trenton.
Oh.
They need to begin to travel the world. And I hate to say it like this, but if that means join the military, join the military.
No, I agree with that.
I did my 5 years in.
I tell a lot of young men that I teach in terms of school system and community, if you don't have a future,
go in the military.
Here's an opportunity.
Right.
Because it gives you an opportunity to grow, develop, and deal with life from an independent man perspective.
Right.
And if you don't learn that science, you're going to fail the rest of your life, because you're always going to be in a begging mode, always be looking for people to give you something, and then create an attitude where somebody owes you something. And we certainly need to get away from that, because like I tell them, if you're not working on right, then you must be working on wrong. And it's not too hard to figure it out.
Exactly. Well, it's an exact segue into Organo Gold, too.
Let's go right into that.
In terms of looking at that.
That's right. Okay.
I'm in a company now, and I've done network marketing companies for over 20-some years.
Okay.
I've been in about 13 of them.
Okay.
I never got out of a company until I made my money back in all cases. But I had decided about 2 years ago I wasn't going to do it anymore.
Okay.
Too much work, too much away from my community, too much from what I was trying to do.
Okay.
Until this company came along.
All right.
Somebody introduced me to the company 3 years ago, but they never followed up with me.
Okay.
I drank the coffee, I liked it, and I didn't know what it was really doing for me, but I liked it. Then about last year, sometime around, I guess about June or so, I was introduced to the company again. Took me a little while to get on and join. But when I became a part of the company, now we can't make health claims. I can tell you this from my perspective. It helped me health-wise.
Okay.
Blood pressure, my liver, my kidneys, and all these things. But plus, I lost 38 pounds.
Nice.
Now, I can only attribute it to the coffee because I did no other change in my life.
All right.
But I can't say the coffee did it.
Okay.
I can only say this coincidental that since I drank the coffee, these things happened.
Okay.
And I can tell you other stories as well. But more importantly, not only is it there for health, and this is what my focus is when I'm talking to people about this coffee, about this business, it's not about the wealth, because we can make money.
That's right.
But it's about getting people's health right. And we have a health situation in the United States of America.
Yes,
we have an obesity problem. We have a diabetic problem. We have a blood pressure problem. And I can say that the product is inside of this coffee.
Okay.
The Ganoderma mushroom. It's been touted for 4,000 years being called the king of herbs.
Okay.
And it has addressed a lot of things in terms of illnesses that people may have.
Right.
But this company is out of sight.
Okay.
This company is out of sight.
Okay.
In the first year, between September and December, they made $3 million. That's not a lot of money.
Nice.
That's not a lot of money. But the second year, they did $9 million.
Okay.
2009.
Okay.
2010, they did $47 million.
Nice.
2011, they did $150 million. And already in the first quarter, they've done $100 million of products.
Nice.
The company's growing by leaps and bounds. We're in 22 countries. We have nutraceutical products, soap. We have toothpaste. We have skin cream. We have red tea, black tea, Jamaican Blue Mountain. And here's the interesting thing. People say to me, well, Ali, what's this company about? I need to investigate it. Let me ask you a question. If you were Napoleon Hill Foundation,
okay,
or you were the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee people, and you investigated our company and decided to partner with us, who has more to lose, you or me that's trying to do the research?
That's right.
And then if I'm doing the individual research, would I even begin to find out what these people found out? And that said to them, we want to partner with these people.
That's right. That's right.
Napoleon Hill Foundation, for the first time in its history, has partnered with a company and has put our logo on their book, Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
And put it out there. Plus, they have a book and CDs. Jamaican Blue Mountain said, after a year in the company, said, look, I like what you got here. Can we partner with you?
Okay.
We took our product and fused it with the coffee.
Okay.
And now that coffee is out there. So Jamaican Blue Mountain, as you know, is probably one of the most expensive coffees in the world.
Yes, it is.
And it's one of our products. And,
okay.
And it's just beautiful. I love it. I decided to do it again. I'm doing it again. And my goal is to take the money I make from it and do some of the same things that was just mentioned.
Okay.
Help youth in scholarships, help youth in sports activity. I would like to be, and I'm saying this publicly, I would like to make enough money where I can buy the instruments for Trenton High School band.
Nice.
I'm a musician. I played drums all my life.
I like
and if it wasn't for music, probably wouldn't have saved me.
Okay.
I played music all my life here and in the military, overseas, all around the country. I played music.
Okay.
And I see the problem that they have, and they need instruments.
They do.
They need the instruments. So
They do.
I want to see this happen. I want to see the music program get back into the middle schools, or whether it was, I think it's still 12 to K to 8, wherever it's at.
Right.
But we need the music programs.
No, we definitely do.
These music programs are going to help save these young people. These music people are going to help build our society. And with that, teach them that they have a responsibility, not just to themselves to get out there and have fun and everything, but they have a responsibility to bring back to the community.
That's right.
I heard a gentleman before say he was away for 19 years. He's back doing something helpful in the city.
That's good.
We need to do that.
No, I agree.
I'm not from Trenton.
Okay.
I'm from Camden.
I can't tell.
I'm from Camden. But most people believe I'm from Trenton after I've been here so long.
Until you told me, I thought that.
Yeah.
But you made a lot of excellent points in regards to giving back and learning and developing skill sets and entrepreneurialism. What can Organo Gold and what are you looking to do with it from a business perspective? Because in the city of Trenton, as you can see from my downtown area, from local businesses, which are small business, which really should be the focal point of a small, urban, developing city. But we struggle with that concept. What, in terms of what you're doing with that company and the entrepreneurial skills, can we use to rebuild our city and develop a mindset where we can have sustainable good business here?
Well, one of the things you have to understand, we are independent people in the business.
Okay.
And the company doesn't support us. We have to support ourselves.
Okay.
So the money we make from that, at least from my standpoint, I would like to start a restaurant.
Nice.
My goal, I've been dreaming about this all my life. I want a restaurant where a person can come in from breakfast to dinner and have good food, non-alcoholic beverages, and have jazz or music during the weekend. Yeah. Now, I recognize I need a couple $1 million for 5 years so the business can sustain itself.
That's right.
I recognize that.
That's right.
So one of the things I would like to do is make enough money to begin to do that.
Okay. I
would also like to see our young people understand the skills that 40 doesn't make it.
Okay.
Working 40 hours a week, 40 years, and retiring on 40% income that they used to retire having is not going to make it.
No.
So they need multiple streams of income.
I got you.
And I don't care whether it's Amway, I don't care whether it's FEMA, I don't care whether it's Noni, I don't care what company it is. All of them have value.
That's right.
All of them have value. But if you don't put the effort in, you're not going to make it.
That's
However, I love this company.
Right.
So with this company, I would like to see the children understand what the entrepreneur skills are. I like what I think it was I'm trying to think his name now. It's a church on Calhoun Street? No, not Calhoun Street. Prospect Street. Granville. When Granville started his program, I thought it was one of the best programs in the city.
Right.
Teaching young people about entrepreneurial skills.
Yeah. Yep.
When John Couch started this program, I was around when he did it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was one of the best programs they do. What they do for the young ladies, a good program. Teaching them that there's more than what, first of all, Trenton. Secondly, that they need to do something for themselves.
Right.
And understand not only how to do it, but why they're doing it.
That's right.
And that when you go out, you need to come back.
That's
right.
So
what I would like to see, this company, and I'm going to give you 2 examples of 2 people that understand this principle of 3. One's name is Cosmos Ngembe.
Okay.
Cosmos Ngembe is from Kenya.
Okay.
He came to this country and he started working. He started doing something, and the business failed because of economics. Well, he became $1 million earner in the company.
Okay.
But he's now building wells in his country for his people.
That's how you do it.
Bringing fresh water to villages that never had it before.
Okay.
Jose Ardon. He's from Colombia. The man never wore shoes till he was 9 years old. Only went to the 4th grade and still doesn't have a high school education. His English is horrible. He was the first person to earn $2 million and above in 4 years.
In this company?
Wow. And he is building 467 homes in Colombia for his people.
Nice.
Edwin Haynes, he's from down in the Atlanta area or the Texas area, I'm not sure. But anyway, he was a music entrepreneur in the music industry. Business started going bad and all this started happening. He came into the company. He was $1 million earner, which means they made $1 million to $2 million a year. We don't know really what they made, but they got a million rings, so they made at least $1 million.
That's right.
In 12-month period. Not over the course of a 12-month period. His wife was a preacher. They went to Mississippi. She preached the sermon, and after the sermon, he walked up to the preacher and gave the preacher a check for $200,000 to pay off the mortgage. Wow. These are the kind of people who are in this company.
Right.
Holton Buggs, who's the vice president of the company, who came up with this idea how to give the people they pay out to reach their benefits and everything.
Right.
This man is phenomenal.
Okay.
In terms of what he's doing and what he's trying to happen. Shane Moran's from out of Canada. expert in distribution worldwide, and Bernie Chua is the chairman of the company.
Okay.
And this guy, he came from out of Malaysia, products out of Malaysia originally.
Okay.
And they came to North America, like I said, in 2008.
Nice.
But the people in this company that I have met thus far are people that understand they have a responsibility to the community, that the money they make is not just to go in their pockets.
That's right.
The money's to go out to the community and build certain things that's needed in the community. I would like to see Trenton change in that regard. I would like to see more businesses come up. I would like to see the businessmen in Trenton take an active part in Trenton and begin to give back to the community instead of taking the money outside of Trenton.
Thank you.
And I see this too often.
Yeah.
People come in, make their money, and they leave.
That's right.
That's not what's supposed to happen.
That's right.
So what happens is the infrastructure of our city begins to deteriorate. And then the youth say, there's no hope. There's nothing for me. But if we have jobs and we have things we can help them with, they'll stay.
That's right.
And I'll tell people my philosophy, and believe me, this is not racist when I say this. I have a way of how I judge businesses. First thing I go to is Muslims. Because I'm a Muslim. So I want to see my people make the money.
Okay.
Then I go to African American Muslims.
Okay.
Then I say, okay, that's right. Then I go to African Americans.
Okay.
Then I go to Hispanics. And Caucasians are last. And it's not because I'm racist. It's because they already got much. Most of them got what they got.
Okay.
So I'm trying to help my people establish themselves economically. And if I can help myself establish economically, then I can compete with them. And I can say, okay, now we can cross bridges.
I like that.
But if we're down here and they're up here, I'm going to help the people down here get up.
Right.
And once we get up, now we can work.
That's right.
And that was the philosophy of Elijah Muhammad, really, if people understand.
No doubt.
That was his philosophy.
No
It had
doubt.
nothing to do with race. It had to do with building the esteem of his own people up so they can begin to relate with other people, feel on an equal footing with them.
Excellent.
So that's what I'm trying to be about.
All right. And that's an excellent point. And again, just to clarify that as we wrap up, it's not about trying to hold somebody down or holding something against somebody, but you can't help anyone, especially yourself, or anyone around you, if you're broke.
Right.
So you have to build economic empowerment. And a lot of times that first step is starting with self-esteem. You don't feel good about you. You don't really move and operate in a certain manner where you demand better of others because you demand the best of yourself. I want to thank you for coming on, brother. You're doing some really great work.
Let me give you some numbers.
Yeah, please give them some contact information.
My phone number is 609
All right.
695 8360. That's the best number to contact me.
All right.
You can also go to my website, which is TAIJIALI.organogold.com.
Okay.
And now, if you want to see more about the business, go to cupoffreedom.com.
All right.
Or go to ogbusiness.com.
Okay.
They will give you interactive videos. We can begin to see what's going on, see the mission, see what's going on, understand what's happening, understand the plan, everything. And then you contact me, and I'll show you how to do the business.
All right.
And how to get yourself wealthy and healthy.
All right.
That's what it's
So
all
definitely
about.
keep us abreast of what you're doing. If you have any major events or functions going on, hit me up again, and we'll bring you on and we'll lay that out because we want to begin to breed a culture of success.
Well, we're
in
going to
small
Dallas this coming weekend, and we're going to New Orleans in September.
Okay.
And those are big things.
We'll keep posting.
Again, thank you so much for having me.
Come on, bro.
I was happy to be
That's what we do. That's what we do, bro. If I didn't have you on, somebody would be fighting. Thanks, bro.
You're
Have a great
welcome.
day now.
Same you.
All right. We're going to keep it moving on. Got a lot of great people in here. My main man. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Introduce yourself to the listeners.
My name is Derek Ivy. My wife's name is Jackie. I have two beautiful children, Mackenzie and Peyton, who are all in Colorado right now attending a graduation.
Okay.
But I'm also the co-founder. My wife and I, we own the Conservatory Mansion.
No doubt.
Which is located at 540 East State Street here in Trenton. We are an art and cultural facility. We teach music, we teach dance, we teach drama. We host events, and please come out for a tour. I believe the conservatory is one of the most beautiful buildings in Trenton, with over 14 studios, 6 bathrooms, and a large room that holds close to 100 people for small banquets.
No doubt. Tell us a little bit about, and what I find out about Trenton is, people always say, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Tell them a little bit about the extensive history of the conservatory, which people don't know all of what the conservatory is, and we'll go into the programs a little later. But let's talk a little bit about the history, how long you guys have been here, and some of the significant figures and from the entertainment business who, I've been to the tour and heard it, and I work with you. So tell them a little bit about some of the key people who've come through there in the history of the conservatory.
The Trenton Conservatory of Music was founded in 1920. But prior to that, a gentleman by the name of William O'Toole, who was a professor at Juilliard, felt that Trenton deserved a music conservatory. He founded a place. It was a music conservatory for over 100 years.
Wow.
We often run into people who have attended school at the conservatory. We also run into people who have taught there.
Right.
So there is a tremendous history that we're still delving into and trying to find out everything about the building. But at the Academy, the library on Academy Street, there's pictures of some of the performances that were there.
Wow.
We found out from obituaries that some Grammy Award winners actually got their start at the conservatory.
Really?
Yeah. At one time, it was the only place you could get a music degree. In this area before Westminster and some of the other better known schools. But it has a tremendous history, and in the spring of next year, we plan to have a reunion of anyone and everyone who has attended the school and taught there.
Wow.
Because often and every day when we mention to people about the conservatory, my wife and I, we bump into people and they say, "Oh, I went to school there." Or, my grandmother taught there. And it just goes on and on. And so we want to bring everybody back together.
Nice.
In fact, Jackie, my wife, attended piano classes at the conservatory some 30 years ago.
Wow. And now she's part owner of the building where she learned that.
Right.
And that's really what we're talking about, community buy-in, community investing, as the Imam put, and also Brother June earlier. It's very important to grab a hold of something and then give back. If not, you lose out. And if every time we always get into something, we take away from it but don't give back to it, then we leave that tank, or we leave that, that space empty, and usually it gets filled with the void of something that's negative. So I certainly salute you on that. Tell them a little bit about some of the programs that you guys have over there in terms of the music classes, some of the community programs you have. Also go a little bit into the business aspect. A lot of people go out, and this is not to knock anybody else's hustle, but they spend big money at the Baldessari and other places in Hamilton and Ewing and other ballrooms, and a lot of those nice, classy little small functions can be held at the conservatory. Talk a little bit about your programming, your classes that you educate in, the music piano classes. I'm taking one. And just let people know what they get at the conservatory.
You get atmosphere. You get quite a bit at the conservatory.
All right.
Again, with this rich history and the intimacy of the building. And the way that my wife pushed me to revitalize the woodwork in the building.
That's right.
Tremendous amount of woodwork there. We purchased the building in 2005. Initially, I saw the building and wanted to turn it into a nice, classy restaurant. But my wife, having gone to school there and known the history of the building, she pushed and pushed to give it back to the arts.
And that's right.
Right. And our goal is to help revitalize Trenton through the arts.
Right.
And so we began the journey of teaching music. So we teach piano and guitar and violin and African drums and the regular drums and piano and organ classes that are taught there. We also teach voice. Excuse me. And also, we have concerts there. We've had a gospel concert there. We've had jazz concerts at the building. We also have, because of the facility and the way it looks, it's a good place to host nice, classy events.
Yeah.
We've had bridal showers.
That's right.
And baby showers.
That's right.
And we recently, a young lady graduated from Temple and is going to med school.
Okay.
Her family hosted a beautiful event there. We've had one-woman shows at the building. And it's just a really, I know I'm biased, but it's just a real classy place to have events. We also do seminars and some educational programs.
No doubt.
Just community programs to let people know that the space is available.
That's right.
To host their programs. We've had a wedding there. An actual wedding has taken place at the building, so it's a pretty exciting place, and anything positive that people want to
no, that's right.
want to do, we have the space to do it.
No doubt.
Again, I said we had 14 studios, so we're trying to use those studios to help people have a chance to grow.
That's right.
So those studios we rent for $15 per hour. Upstairs, $15 and $20 per hour, and you can have a space to either teach your craft or to host a seminar. We have a group that meets every month. They're planning their family reunion meeting.
All right.
Yeah, and their family reunion in August, and they've been meeting for the past 6 months.
Nice.
So we have a nice space that we give them. It's $20 per hour. They come. It's like 10 of them. They bring their music and their food, and they take care of their business.
All right.
And they also eat and fellowship with.
That's right.
So it's a great place to have things.
All right.
Nice, intimate gatherings.
All right, and then we'll wrap up. They actually had Dr. Umar Johnson over here as well, so it was the educational component. And my thing is just to allow people to understand that it's a hidden jewel, a lot of history, great studios in the building. And again, if you heard the renter's fee, $15, $20, that's minimum. When you go out to other buildings, they usually start around $50 an hour. So again, here's another community organization sitting in a treasure in the community, investing itself back in the community and giving back. And we need to get out, reach out, support. Certainly, I salute you for certainly the musical part, because a lot of our babies, in terms of the school system, that component has been removed based off, the financial inability to provide the time, the training, the resources. So for you to be investing in that and bringing that back, it taps into the creative aspect of our young people who have that energy and would like to be creative and do what they do. So certainly, I salute you on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's important because there's we had a young man, a young lady come to the building, and they had learned in the school system how to play instruments,
right?
But had no place to, continue
the usual,
right? So they had been out of high school for a while, learned these instruments. I think the young lady, she played the violin and the piano, and she sang. The young man, he played the guitar, and they all played about 4 or 5 instruments apiece.
Nice.
And I gave them a tour throughout the building. They loved the energy of the building.
Right.
And from my office, I could see, them leaving the building, and they were like high-fiving each other.
We in the building.
Right.
Yeah.
and they were leaving, they were high-fiving each other,
That's
and
nice.
Excited that they had found a place that they can come and
inexpensive
place.
Gotta point that out,
right.
Bro.
Our classes, we try to keep all of our classes under $10 for a half-hour class.
Nice.
We give formal training in the arts.
Okay.
We want people to learn how to read music as well as play music.
Right.
And we invite people, take advantage and call 609 858-2279 is the office number.
Right.
Or I can be reached at 609-362-ARTS. That's ARTS.
Okay.
So you can reach us at the conservatory there, located at 540 East State Street.
There it is. All right. So looking forward, we want to thank Derek for coming on. Certainly a great Trenton jewel, and we certainly want you to reach out, allow your young people to get involved, teach them an art or skill. if we're talking about libraries that are closed, if we're talking about aftercare program that's not available, here's an opportunity to get our young people involved in something good that's in the community, that's giving back and reaching back and not charging you an arm or leg. You can pay $10 to $15 for a lesson, or you can go ahead and reach a little deeper and dig out some bail money. Because if we're not teaching our young people to do right and get involved in right and stay right, then you know what they're going to be doing. Also, to community organizations, please reach out to Derek and his beautiful wife doing the great work they're doing. Also, again, like he said, they have functions. They don't really get too many parties going on, but cabarets. We just had a Mother's Day over there by Youth and Isles, Youth Isles. Stacy Heading and the crew had a Mother's Day celebration. So they have a beautiful ambiance, but it's also room there to do a celebration, do a function, and they will not rob you like some of the other places charge you. $3 million to come in there for 2 hours. So reach out, support the conservatory and the great work they're doing. Thanks for coming on, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Just a quick mention
Yes,
about
sir.
we also have a full studio,
Okay.
recording studio. We teach an audio, digital audio,
Okay.
and visual class.
Okay.
We're going to be teaching some filmmaking.
Nice.
So come over, come to the studio. Create. We have some authors that come and put their books on CD. So it's all there. So come out, have a tour of the facility, and we'll be happy to see you and tour you through this facility, and keep us in your prayers.
All right, we certainly do that, brother. Again, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and we'll keep pumping it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Yep.
Thanks, brother.
All right, appreciate it.
No doubt. Last but not least, we're going to bring him on. Definitely going to do some good talking right about now. This guy's really making a pivotal difference in how things are being done here in the city of Trenton. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I'm almost getting tired of seeing you, bro. We work together so much.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yes.
Joey knows you.
Yes.
Introduce yourself to the listeners.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Perry Shaw III. I'm Executive Director of Better Way.
All right. Talk to him a little bit about A Better Way, what it does, the history, and what you guys are doing over there, the great work.
Sure. Better Way is a 501c3 nonprofit foundation. We were founded in 2006 by 3 law enforcement officers from the state of New Jersey and also a retired sheriff's officer from Mercer County. Our focus is basically reentry and also community building.
That's right.
The history is somewhat funny when I tell everybody the fact that this foundation started in my house. I live directly across from Trent High School.
That's right.
On Greenwood Avenue. So our history is kind of funny that way.
Okay.
So we started in the community.
Yeah.
We're still in the community.
No doubt, you definitely are. And talk a little bit. I don't really think people who deal with what you guys deal with understand the reality of it. But it's very important for people who talk all the time. A lot of people, even in city council, I had to argue with a guy. Oh, come on, Free. They doing this, they're doing that. Talk to them a little bit about the importance of giving people who need a second chance, and what you guys do in terms of that service.
Well, the thing about it is, for a lot of individuals, this is not even their second chance. A lot of them, this is their first chance. Right. For some reason, a lot of them have made mistakes in their lives, and if you're not educated about the legal system, if you don't have funds to pay for a decent lawyer, a lot of times you take what's given to you.
That's
because
right.
Ignorance is not rewarded, unfortunately. A lot of individuals may think they know things, but they don't know the basics about law. And a lot of times a charge that might be only something they call PTI, where turns into a 2 to 5 year sentence.
That's right.
And when they come home from prison, they don't realize the barriers and the things that will hinder them when they try to get employed. For the most part, I'll say the same thing over and over again. Prison is supposed to be about 3 things. The first thing is punishment. That's for the crime you committed. That's the duration of time you're locked up. The second thing is you paying back the rate at which you committed the crime. The third thing is rehabilitation. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not able to show they're rehabilitated because they're not given a chance. It's not about just giving anyone anything. It's about them earning it.
That's right.
If they have earned it, let's let them go out there and earn it and show they have earned it. A lot of times, people don't want to give individuals who have served time in prison or even on probation a chance to show they have made amends for the mistakes they have made.
Okay. I like that. And what I do is, I'm just being honest, and why I really wanted Perry to come on, I'm working with him, but it's very important to know that a lot of people inside the city of Trenton have people with tainted backgrounds, I call it. And really, I'm just being real about it. You really can't say there's nobody you don't know or nobody who you haven't been around who has a troubled background. And the importance of rebuilding that individual so that they can help rebuild their lives. At the end of the day, if people aren't given an opportunity to be viable and be builders, then sadly, if we're going to be honest about it, you will go right back down the same path that got you into the position you're in. If you're filling out 9,000 applications and nobody's giving you an opportunity, if you're showing up to all this training, but nobody's giving you a chance to apply that training, then what happens? So again, talk to them a little bit about some of the collaborations you guys have connected with, and that's one of the main things you and I always talk about. There's so much that we can do if we align with other people who are doing in the same field what we're doing. Millions are available. But if we are always in cutthroat mode and not working to align with services and networking and building with other people, then the people who really need our services rarely get impacted. Talk a little bit about the collaborations. Again, go into the programs you guys do, some of the services, so people can know what they're getting at 1040 Pennsylvania Avenue.
For us, collaborations is the key to keep a better way functioning, keep the city functioning. A lot of times people have great ideas, but they think they have to go at it alone.
That's right.
And it's not about going at it alone. For us, it's not about us being the person who runs the program, us being in charge at the forefront. It's about us being a part of a team.
Okay.
In order for things to get done, you have to have teamwork.
That's right.
Some of the collaborative efforts we have made has been, so far, we're part of East Trent Collaborative.
That's right.
Which consists of us, ISLES, Habitat for Humanity, Better Community Housing, City Works, and Homefront.
That's right.
Collaborating with individuals like that, organizations like that have been around for decades, you get to learn some of the ins and outs about how things are done and how you can improve your community and how you can improve your organization. We came in kind of new to the game, but at the same time, we quickly rose up because people saw that we were consistent.
That's right.
We were grassroots, but we were consistent. And that's the most important thing about being a part of a collaborative, is being consistent.
That's right.
As you know, there's about 10,000 nonprofits all throughout the city of Trenton.
Woo. And
there are only a handful that are active, that are actually doing something.
That's right.
The thing about it is people have the best intentions, but if you don't have a plan, you're doomed to fail. And that's been the situation for the city of Trenton for a long period of time. Yep. People have the best intentions, but they don't sit down and take time to put the plan together.
No plan.
You got to have a plan in order to get things moving.
That's right.
In addition to us partnering with the nonprofits like the ones I mentioned, we have also partnered with a lot of grassroots organizations, like individuals like yourself.
No doubt.
Like Living a Powerful Life, like Fathers of Men United,
right.
Like High Rollers, like other organizations that are doing great things.
Okay.
That's the reason why we want to be a part of what's going on in the city of Trenton. For us, I just mentioned one of the collaborative efforts we're doing right now. That's the mentoring program.
That's right.
We were just awarded a grant from the city of Trenton by way of the federal government for a federal youth staff program. We're going to be working with 36 at-risk youths and their families. And I always say this, I say at risk, and I put parentheses on it because for us, all the kids in the city of Trenton are at risk of something, at risk of being shot and killed, at risk of being in gangs, at risk of something that's going to hinder them from growing up and living a productive and positive life. I always say the same thing. The worst thing that our kids in the city of Trenton can become is what Langston Hughes referred to as a dream deferred.
That's right.
We have a lot of kids who are dreams deferred.
That's right.
But getting back to the mentoring program, we reached out to a lot of different grassroots organizations, a lot of different individuals who are doing positive things in the city of Trenton, and we asked everyone to put egos aside.
Woo.
Let's help these kids. Let's help the community. By that being said, all the organizations were on board, and so we'll be starting this mentoring program in about 2 or 3 weeks.
That's right.
I just want to say that the mayor has signed off on the contract, so
we're
getting things started.
Good.
As far as programming for us, we're focused on several different things, but we're focused on the main thing, community building. We're focused on doing the counseling for individuals who might not have been diagnosed with issues or problems, who might not understand what some of the things they're going through.
Right.
Anyone who serves 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour in prison or jail, they're having some mental health issues.
That's right.
Because you're locked in a cage for a certain period of time without having any contact with other human beings. So
that's right.
You need some kind of counseling. The most important thing is to admit that you need the counseling. We offer anger management. A lot of times people need anger management. Dealing with the problems, stresses in life. Sometimes we turn into the wrong things, and with not thinking first, which we also offer during our anger management, you can solve those problems, those issues that you're dealing with.
That's right.
We also offer training. We offer something called Harambe Kiji. We call it life skills and steroids,
all right,
which encompasses finances, which encompasses your community, which encompasses learning how to think decisively and making the right decisions.
Okay.
We also offer soft skills, job training. A lot of times, an individual comes home from prison. It's not just that it's very hard for them to get a job. It's about them retaining a job.
That's
Retention
right.
is very important.
Yeah.
About knowing how to speak, about knowing how to shake a person's hand, about knowing how to tie a tie, about learning how to what it is to call back for a second interview, things of that nature. Some things we take for granted.
No, you're
not
right.
Everyone has been shown or
You're
given
right.
an opportunity to show. The third thing we offer is community service. Every individual come through our doors, you have to give 200 hours community service.
That's right.
To whom much is given, much is required.
That's
so we
right.
ask that everyone give community service hours. It's about giving back to the community. We look at some of the models throughout the country, like Harlem Children's Zone.
That's right.
How everything they do, whether it's housing, whether it's being community activists, whether it's also about trying to provide transportation, what it all centers back to is these children.
That's right.
And for us, what it centers back to is the community.
That's right.
The child, the mother, the father, the community itself. That's what we're trying to do. Community builds. Not just about reentry, it's about rebuilding the community also.
That's right. Okay.
The last thing I want to mention also is that beginning the end of this month, we'll also be offering solar paneling training classes. What's unique about this training class is
I need to be in that class.
that for every individual who finishes the class, they'll be guaranteed a job.
That's right.
For a long period of time, we have been bamboozled. We've been promised this, we've been promised that. For us, we try to change the way they perceive training. We want to make sure there's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right.
We want to show people that, you know what, good work is rewarded.
That's right.
And that's why we're saying, listen, you come through, you finish, you will have a job.
All right.
The only way you won't have a job is if you lose the job yourself.
Okay. Outstandingly put, as always. And again, you've heard some good things as we wrap up. Perry Shaw, Executive Director over at A Better Way, doing some really great things. But again, I send people to him all the time. But the last thing I say to him is he's going to take you through about 16 different obstacles to see if you're sincere about what you say you are. Because if he just hands it to you, most times individuals coming home looking for a second opportunity still are kind of in that hustler's mode of mentality where they're looking for the quick fix to a long-term problem. You got to develop the skill sets to become viable. Again, you got to deal with work ethic. You got to deal with discipline. You have to be able to deal with your problems and issues, whether they be mental health issues, whatever it is. You have to assess yourself so that you can move forward. And 1040 Pennsylvania Avenue at A Better Way is building and providing a better way for young people and old as well to become viable components of a community that is begging for people to get on a good foot and get right.
Go ahead, sir. Let me just say one thing. Another thing that we do that I forgot to mention is the fact that we assist with employment for individuals.
Okay.
What I would like to do right now is make a plea for businesses, small and large, around the city of Trenton, in the city of Trenton, around Mercer County, to try to look at their company and look at opportunities that they may have for individuals who are coming home from prison, who have made mistakes. But at the same time, we don't want you to give them a handout.
Right.
We want you to hire qualified individuals. The thing about it is there's opportunities and benefits to hiring individuals that we encounter every single day. There's something called OJT, where individuals are given 50% reimbursement for hiring an individual for 6 months. There's also tax credits for hiring an individual who have records. So there are opportunities for companies in and around the city of Trenton to step up.
Okay.
And so I'm going to make a personal plea for them to step up.
All right.
Anyone who does, they will definitely get the positive press and also get the benefits of hiring individuals who have records. I just want to say, listen, we're trying every day. We're out there on those streets every day. That's why we mentioned the fact you can't play no games with us because we're out on those blocks.
That's right.
The shirt and ties come off at 5 o'clock. We're out there with the jeans and the Timbs and the sweatshirt looking around to make sure our guys and our women doing the right thing. Once again, 1040 Pennsylvania Avenue is our location. Our phone number is 609-392-1224. And we are a nonprofit organization, so we do accept donations, whether it's time, money, or resources. If you want to donate a vehicle, we will surely take it. And it is tax deductible.
That's right.
And thanks once again for having us on the show.
No doubt, bro. Have a great day.
You too.
Definitely, we appreciate you coming on. All right, we're going to wrap up. That's about it for the day. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at it again Monday. Make it the best of a week this week. I definitely want to salute. Saturday was the birthday of one of the most phenomenal figures to ever touch the planet, Malcolm X. Also, I was intrigued that a lot of people did not know that Saturday was also the birthday of Lorraine Hansberry, one of the greatest writers and authors and activists, and she was the author of A Raisin in the Sun, and she made a lot of profound work. So her and Malcolm, salute to them for their birthday being Saturday. Trentonians, take an opportunity to do something significant today, become a part of the solution and not the problem. work hard. Get out there and make right where you live, your home community, a better place. We have a brand new superintendent. I'll be looking to touch base with him this week and get involved in writing a new chapter to rebuild this failing school system. Again, for those who don't know, as long as our school systems fails, our community fails, our children fail, and we as an individual can't produce viable, productive people in a city that's crying out for discipline, order, and people who are dedicated to being things better. Please work with us as we work with you. We'll see you again next Monday. Have a great day and a great week, and do something significant. Thank you.